Isn't it crazy that we spend over a decade in school? We learn about algebra, calculus, chemistry, history, a bunch of stuff that are somewhat useful, but no one never taught us what money actually is. Like, we go to school, we get a job, we work hard, we save money, and that's all we're taught, really. And they tell us that, if you put your money in your 401k or in your IRA or whatever, you will be able to retire when you're 65 years old, and you'll be able to reach $1 million. But nobody teaches us how to write a check, how to do our taxes, or some of the basic finance things that we should learn how to do as humans. And it wasn't until I started working as a nurse and I was looking for a way to retire early that I started learning about these things. It was when I started that's when I started learning about money and finance. And think it was because of books like Rich Dad Poor Dad and The Intelligent Investor, and those are the books that those books taught me and gave me knowledge that I think actually matters. And it's hard to think about this, right? Like, somebody who graduates from college, and imagine the person that does everything right, right? They graduate from college, they get the job, they work 40 hours a week, they save money. They even if they try to avoid debt, let's say they do everything right, some they still have to find a way to earn more money, or find a way for their investments to or their savings to give them some sort of yield, because prices keep going up over time, and prices are going to continue to go up over time. And they kind of understand. I mean, some people, they kind of understand, oh, it's because of inflation, but they don't really know what actually causes inflation. We hear the word inflation, and most people think it's because of greedy corporation. But honestly, most people, I mean, not most people, like probably 99% of people don't really know what truly causes inflation. Maybe not 99% now that I think about it. I mean, I feel like maybe the Bitcoiners and the gold bugs and the silver bugs, they may understand what causes it. But other than that, the average person doesn't know that it's because of money printing. And I did not really understand inflation until I started learning about money and Bitcoin. And I thought, personally, I thought that money was just a number on a screen in my bank account. And I thought it was the dollar bills that I had. I thought it was just the currencies that we were using around the world. And it wasn't until I read the book, The Bitcoin Standard by Sifedin Amus, um, right behind me, that I actually understood what money actually was. And the most fascinating thing about this book is that I did not know that throughout history we have used many different things as money, so such as rocks, seashells, cocoa beans, cows. I mean, you name it. We've used so many different things, and it led me to ask the question: okay, so if all these things could be used as money, why did it fail? What makes something money? And it made you ask a lot more question about money, and eventually you'll come to a realization that money is supposed to have three functions. It's supposed to be a unit of account, a store of value, and a medium of exchange. And and it should also, perfect money, I guess I should say, should also have um certain characteristics. It should be portable, divisible, durable, verifiable, scarce, censorship resistance. I probably missed something. But divisible, fungible, verifiable, scarce, durable, censorship resistance. Seven great characteristics. But anyways, it wasn't until I learned about all of these things that it actually started to click. And the other thing too about money is that I did not understand inflation. And I thought inflation was, a normal part of the economy. I thought 2% inflation was also healthy for the economy, like I was told. And I did not understand that inflation actually meant inflating the money supply. And when you inflate the money supply and you increase the amount of money in circulation, when you increase the amount of something, it then dilutes the value of the money that the people who are saving in that money have. And that was a huge realization to me. And the I think the biggest thing too is that they tell you that inflation is 2% per year, but the money supply is actually increasing by at least 7% a year. So yeah, that was a big shocker to me. And then another thing that I didn't know neither about money is that why prices go up. How does inflation make prices go up? And the simplest way that I can explain that is that if you have, let's say, for example, 10 apples and $10 in an economy, if you have $10 and 10 apples, then each apple will be worth $1. But if you inflate the amount of dollars and you still have 10 apples, and let's say you double the amount of money in circulation, and now you have, instead of $10 in the circulation, you have $20, and you still have 10 apples, then each apple is going to equal $2. And as you create more money and you are not able to produce more apples, then prices of apples are to continue to go up because the amount of money is going to continue to go up. So yeah, I mean, these are some they sound, they are simple. I feel like it's simple, but then nobody knows about these things. And I think I think learning about what money is extremely important, and it's one of the most important thing that we should learn in school. But to be honest with you, if you dive into history and you learn about fiat currencies, it does make sense why they don't teach you about money in school. Because if everybody knew what money was, like, let's be honest, like, the financial system would collapse because it's running on a fake money. It's running on a Ponzi scheme money in a way. So it makes sense why they don't teach you about these things in school. And once you understand what money should be, and once you understand that money should have three functions: be a unit of account, a store value, and a medium of exchange. And you understand that money should be portable, durable, divisible, fungible, verifiable, scarce, and also censorship resistant. Then you'll understand that there is only one thing on this planet that can be money. There's only one thing on this planet that actually checks all those boxes, and that is Bitcoin. So I'm creating a school community right now. So if you are new to Bitcoin and you kind of interested in learning about Bitcoin, and you're interested about learning about what money is, check out the link in the description. I am putting together all the best resources that help me understand money and Bitcoin, and it's gonna be free for now, but eventually I will be increasing the price, or I guess it will be a paid membership. But it's probably gonna be free for now until Bitcoin goes back above $100,000. And the other thing too is that on average, the average person will spend about over 80,000 hours of their life working for money, but they never spent any time learning about what money actually is. So I think it's time that we change that. And I think it's time that we learn what money actually is. So if you want to learn about what money is, check out this video on the screen right now.